As brutal as the winter months can be, one thing that always seems to get America through the slog of it all is the Super Bowl. And if you're like me recording this video weeks ahead of time, you're really excited for the big game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Super Bowl is the biggest sports day in America, and at this point it's basically an unofficial American holiday. It doesn't matter if you're a football fan, the Super Bowl transcends that. Unless, of course, you're still using the phrase sports ball unironically, which in that case I urge you to take off your Pastafarian colander and leave 2008 behind. The Super Bowl has been around for whatever this many Roman numerals means, and have given us so many legendary moments. I mean, the halftime show alone has given us stuff like Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction, Prince singing Purple Rain, In the Rain, and this abomination.
Can't touch them!
And as far as the actual games go, well, there's no shortage of legendary moments there either. How about Super Bowl 25, when Bills kicker Scott Norwood's potential game-winning field goal went wide right? Or what about Super Bowl 34, when Mike Jones won the Super Bowl for the Rams by stopping Kevin Dyson 1 yard short of the goal line as time expired? And then there's Super Bowl 42 and David Tyree's helmet catch, and nope, I'm a Patriots fan, we aren't doing that one, it didn't happen. Instead, we're going to head to Super Bowl 49 in a matchup between those New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. There, we're going to look at a moment that left millions of Americans stunned and questioning someone's decision-making abilities. This is Pop Culture Hyperfixations, and today we're taking a look at Nationwide's failed attempt to teach us all about childhood accidents.
I want to see sports. I want to see beer commercials or, the Budweiser commercials, whatever it is. Something fun, something uplifting, not something like that.
At this point, it's hard to mention the Super Bowl without talking about the commercials. Companies view the Super Bowl as the best chance to get eyeballs on their products. And with good reason, as the Super Bowl is without question the most viewed telecast every year. Last year's broadcast is the second most viewed broadcast of all time, only behind the time it went to the moon. With that many eyeballs, companies are willing to pay substantially to try and get noticed, and through the years they have paid a lot of money. When the first Super Bowl was played in 1967, a 30-second ad spot cost around $40,000, which is roughly $377,000 in today's money. In 2025, a 30-second ad spot costs around $7 million, which is roughly $7 million in today's money. While advertising during the Super Bowl was obviously important in the 60s and 70s, it wasn't until 1984 and Super Bowl 18 that the commercials really cemented themselves as a key part of the broadcast. For it was at that Super Bowl that a commercial aired for a little company named Apple.
Today we celebrate the first glorious anniversary of the information purification directives. We have created, for the first time in all history, a garden of pure ideology, where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests of being contradictory thoughts. Our unification of the laws is more powerful a weapon than any fleet or army on earth. We are one people, with one will, one resolve, one cause. Our enemies shall talk themselves to death, and we will bury them with their own confusion. We shall prevail.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
Apple's Macintosh ad is probably more remembered than the game itself. The advertisement left an indelible mark not just on viewers, but on other companies. There was a clear shift in philosophy after that commercial, as companies now viewed the Super Bowl as a chance to make something big. The arms race was on, and companies pulled out all the stops in an attempt to win the night. McDonald's gave us the Bird vs. Jordan shooting contest, Reebok rolled out Terry Tate office linebacker, Budweiser gave us the Bud Bowl, and the Clydesdales, and the What's Up Guys, and the Frogs, and the Dalmatians, I guess people like. Not everyone was able to nail it though, and there have been plenty of disastrous Super Bowl ads, each of them failing in their own unique way. From the racism of Just for Feet's Kenyan Runner commercial, to the misogyny of Dodge's Man's Last Stand ad, or even the trying way too hard to be controversial nature of GoDaddy.com's various attempts. And while those commercials sucked in their own way, and oh boy were they the suckiest bunch of sucks that ever sucked, I'm not sure any company whipped quite as hard as Nationwide did at Super Bowl 49. That time, Nationwide was probably best known for being one of the dozen or so insurance companies that was constantly on television. If you don't know the names, you know the mascots. Geico has the Gecko, Progressive has Flo, the General has the General, and Farmers has J.K. Simmons.
Do not with me, Greg.
Eat it.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
For a long time, Nationwide rarely used mascots. They didn't need to. Who needs a mascot when you got a jingle? Come on, you know the one. Nationwide is on your side. Still, that lack of mascot didn't keep them from advertising during the big game. By the time Super Bowl 49 rolled around, Nationwide had already attempted 2 Super Bowl ads before. The first one aired in 1984 and was called Puppy. It features a kid and a puppy being cute, and that's basically the whole commercial. It'd be over 2 decades before Nationwide attempted another Super Bowl advertisement, but this time they better understood the assignment and attempted to make a commercial that really stood out. This one starred Popo Zao songwriter Kevin Federline and appeared to feature the debut of his latest single, but then the commercial snaps back to reality to show a daydreaming K-Fed at his fast food job. It was a pretty memorable ad for 2 reasons. 1, anytime Kevin Federline displayed any form of self-awareness, people were shocked. And 2, the ad actually garnered a little bit of controversy with the NRA, the National Restaurant Association. NRA President Steven Anderson found the commercial offensive and went public with his complaints in a letter to Nationwide, where he says that the commercial's airing would, quote, give the impression that working in a restaurant is demeaning and unpleasant. The controversy didn't stick because it was incredibly stupid, but still Nationwide wouldn't do a Super Bowl ad again until 2015. By this time, Nationwide had found a spokesman, and there never seemed like a better time to come back to the Super Bowl.
Good morning, shoppers. Free samples in aisle 5.
That's a first-rate queso dip. Haven't been this lost in years.
Recalculating shortest route.
Do I really look like this?
And put it on top.
Never seen this one before.
Chicken parm, you taste so good.
I like it.
Peyton Manning is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and as much as I hate to admit it, his commercials are pretty funny. Peyton began working with Nationwide in 2014, and his ads were a big hit. Now, while he was very close to the end of his career, his team still competed at the highest level, and there were plenty of reasons to suspect he may end up playing in the Super Bowl that year. With all that in mind, Nationwide made the bold decision to not only spend the $4.5 million to buy one ad in that Super Bowl, but they actually bought 2. And who better to appear on the NFL's biggest night as Nationwide's spokesman than Kelly Kapoor? Yeah, for whatever reason, Nationwide didn't go with the horse that got them there, accidental Denver Broncos joke, but rather on a commercial starring Mindy Kaling. The commercial was about Mindy feeling like nobody could see her, so she gets into all sorts of shenanigans before attempting to kiss Matt Damon, who lets her know that we can all see her, sort of like how Nationwide, who'll never treat you like you're invisible. Now, I like Matt Damon and Mindy Kaling, but it was a weird decision by Nationwide to have 2 commercials and neither one of them feature Peyton Manning. In any other year, that commercial would be the weirdest thing Nationwide could have done. But now, we finally get to talk about the other commercial. Thanks to their overwhelming lack of hubris, Nationwide actually allowed CNN to document the making of this commercial. While the Invisible Mindy spot was meant to be your standard, celebrity, funny Super Bowl commercial, with the other spot, Nationwide wanted to, quote, disrupt the normal Super Bowl advertising by focusing an ad based around preventing accidents to children in the home. They felt the Super Bowl was the perfect place to raise awareness to those dangers and launch their Make Safe Happen campaign. As Adam Tucker of Ogilvy and Mather Advertising says in the video, they felt that in 60 seconds they could bring more awareness than they had in 60 years. And on February 1st, 2015, with the Patriots leading by 7 halfway through the second quarter, America got to learn about the boy who couldn't grow up.
Hey, wait! Just wait! Wait! I'll never learn to ride a bike. Or get coolies. I'll never learn to fly. Or travel the world with my best friend. And I won't ever get married. I couldn't grow up because I died from an accident.
At Nationwide, we believe in protecting what matters most. Your kids. Together, we can make safe happen.
What the hell was that?
Coming out of the game, it seemed like the only things people wanted to talk about was Malcolm Butler's game-winning interception and that commercial. People hated the ad so much that local news broadcasts across the country dedicated segments to just reading tweets about people upset about it. It was the advertising equivalent of the Walker Told Me I Have AIDS clip, except without Conan there to soften the blow. You know what's crazy? This commercial was almost way worse. In the CNN video, they talk about the other idea they had, which was to remove the fictional element and just have real families talking about real accidents that happened to their real kids. The boy who couldn't grow up was selected because they thought it was, quote, balanced enough as to not throw people off. I don't think people were mad about the content of the commercial as much as what they thought was an attempt by Nationwide to scare them into buying insurance. A similarly grim PSA about domestic violence aired during the same Super Bowl, but there wasn't a backlash because they weren't trying to sell us anything. Everyone agreed with Nationwide's message, but felt it was the worst possible delivery. Nationwide had to have known there might be some sort of backlash because they quickly released a statement. Preventable injuries around the home are the leading cause of childhood deaths in America. Most people don't know that. Nationwide ran an ad during the Super Bowl that started a fierce conversation. The sole purpose of this message was to start a conversation, not sell insurance. We want to build awareness of an issue that is near and dear to all of us, the safety and well-being of our children. We knew the ad would spur a variety of reactions. In fact, thousands of people visited MakeSafeHappen.com, a new website to help educate parents and caregivers with information and resources in an attempt to make their home safer and avoid a potential injury or death. Nationwide has been working with experts for more than 60 years to make homes safer. While some did not care for the ad, we hope it served to begin a dialogue to make safe happen for children everywhere. Chief Marketing Officer Matt Jockus was the man who took the lead role when it came to defending the commercial, and he defended it vociferously. He was quoted in USA Today as saying, "We're not sorry. We did not set out to bum people out who are watching the Super Bowl. This conversation was not taking place before Sunday. If the commercial saves one child's life, it's worth it." And to be fair, the commercial did have its defenders who felt that the ad was effective and the subject matter important, which, I get that. However, more people tended to feel like Dr. Thomas O'Gwyn, who was quoted in a Bleacher Report article about the commercial as saying, "I hate this ad. I hate it on every level." If you want to be a defender of advertising, this is the prosecution's best evidence of why advertising is bad for us. I would rather defend a tobacco ad than this ad. The effectiveness of the commercial is probably still up for debate. According to the website Advertising Age, in February of 2015, Nationwide saw a more than 38% boost in their purchase consideration score, which sounds like a good statistic, I guess, I don't know. But it's unclear if that success was enough to balance out the damage caused by the backlash. Nationwide continued to stand their ground, with Matt Jockus being quoted as saying weeks later, "I'm not apologizing. I put a tough message in the middle of a party. I didn't intend to ruin the party." But by May, his party at Nationwide was over as he left the company. The official story is that he left for other opportunities, but I think it's fair to speculate if the backlash to the boy commercial played at least a small part. The following year, Nationwide released a statement that indicated they would not be advertising in that year's Super Bowl and would instead be focusing on their involvement in the Walter Peyton Man of the Year award. They have not aired a Super Bowl commercial since. Ironically enough, the winning quarterback in that year's game was Peyton Manning himself, which kind of makes you wonder what would have happened if Nationwide had just put Peyton in one of those commercials. I guess we'll never know, just like we'll never ride a bike, or get cooties, or learn to fly, or...
Stop! He's already dead!
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, and if you want to see more, please hit subscribe. And let me know in the comments what you think is the worst Super Bowl commercial of all time. I mean, it's gotta be this one, right?